Hello everybody, welcome back to Cabin Creek Homestead, and obviously we have a big announcement to make. I'm very pleased to introduce you to Brisco and Charlene, our newest additions to the farm. The family that we got these horses from are retirement age. They have accrued a few health problems, and in this stage of their life, they have decided that they're no longer able to meet the needs of their horses. So they went on a journey to find their next owner to adopt these animals, and they chose us. I cannot tell you what an honor it was to be considered to be the forever family for these animals. I don't know if you know much about Tennessee walking horses, but they are very special animals and they're known for their gait. So every horse has a different method of locomotion, and a gaited horse moves in a very specific way that can be a very nice ride when they're gaited correctly. And they also make great carriage horses. So not only are these animals obviously loving and beautiful, but they were show horses in their prime. So now they are 20 years old and 19 years old, I think. And although they have not been handled or ridden or trained in quite a few years, they still remember all the love that they were given. Charlene cracks me up. I don't know what you're doing. You want scratches? So although these animals have not been ridden or handled a lot in the past few years, they were very well loved. So now it is my job to remind them of a few manners and to get them back under saddle, and they are joining our farm to be ridden as trail horses, to be therapy horses, and just to be great companions. One thing that I learned very early in life is how powerful it is to make a relationship, have a relationship with a horse. There is something, I don't know, inspiring about working with an animal that is 10 times bigger than you, to communicate with them. And you don't necessarily need to overpower them, but you do need to gain their respect. And to be able to do that and to work in conjunction with them to achieve a common goal, whether it's going for a ride or maybe getting a specific skill under your seat like dressage or jumping, hunter jumper classes or anything. It's quite empowering. And for me as a child that was in foster care, it proved to be very effective for helping me to manage my emotions and to not take on the identity as a child that was in foster care, but as a cowgirl. So I know 9-year-old me would be just so happy right now that I have two of my very own Tennessee walking horses who are very loving and who respond well to our care. So Charlene and Brisco have been home with us for just a little over a week, and they love attention, they love affection, especially Charlene. She's the first one to greet us in the field, and she just, I don't know, my favorite thing is when she comes up and puts her head on your chest so that you can just give her scratches under both of her eyes. She's very precious that way. I have been warned that she has a big motor. So if she's ever going to be trained as a child's horse, we've got some work to do. A big motor for me is very exciting. I don't like riding a dead head unless I'm just really tired and want a relaxing trail ride. But I find a horse with a lot of energy and a lot of spunk to be very exciting. In fact, one of the spunkiest horses I ever rode was on a beach in Thailand, and I'll throw some pictures up of it. I got off of that horse and I was like, man, I don't think I've ever felt such a powerful animal under me before, and realized I had been riding a stallion down this beach with no helmet, no shoes, no nothing. But it was exhilarating, and I'm so glad that I did. Anyway, Brisco is he's our old man. He's not quite as I don't know, eager for attention as Charlene is, but he is a lot calmer under the saddle. And so earlier this week, I went ahead and started him under the saddle. My neighbor came down and we put the saddle on him, and just did some lightweight work with him. He's very fidgety. His gait was all off. His canter was not that classic rocking horse canter that you want, but I do think that he has really low tone, and I think he's nervous in his new home. So we took it easy. It was a very short first ride, and I plan on continuing to do a lot of work with him. I already started both of them on Groundwork the second day that I brought them home, just to let them know I'm going to be putting the halter on you. You're going to be walking with manners on the lead rope, and we started some light lunging. I don't think that they've had a lot of exercise lately, so it's for us to build up that muscle back before we ask anything strenuous like a 3-hour trail ride. So we've got some work ahead of us, but as you've seen with our donkey Virgil, I love a good project, and these definitely are my project. So this is a special thank you to Mr. Ronnie and his wife. Thank you for choosing us to be their forever home. Thank you for trusting us with this sacred task of taking them into their next years. And I'm just so thrilled of what our farm is going to be able to do when we invite other people here to be part of therapy. Especially with such loving and calm animals like these. They truly are very darling. Now, not only do they need a little bit of work to remember some of their halter manners, their lead rope manners, going in and out of the stall manners, those were kind of tricky. They both have a large motor and want to push you over a little bit. So we've been working on that quite repetitiously. I used to be an English teacher. I feel really bad for all my students, but anyway. But there's a few medical things, or I guess physical things, that they need to be seen for as well. And the first thing is their feet. They're both missing a lot of their frog. Now the frog is the inner part of the hoof, and if they stay in less than ideal conditions, it's really easy for that frog to kind of erode away. And so they both have thrush. Thrush is something I'm going to no ma'am. Stop. Thank you. Thrush is something I'm going to bring to the attention of the farrier, and he's gonna probably give me a lot of good advice. But for now, I'm cleaning out their hooves. I'm keeping them dry in this pasture. My husband just finished building the second pasture here, and we're gonna keep them over here because we have had a downpour for like a week after we got them, and their other pasture was really muddy. That's awful for thrush. It doesn't solve anything. It makes it worse. But I also put a protective barrier. It's like a green liquid. I can't remember the name of it, but I put a water barrier on their hooves. Moisture is not great for horses' feet. It's probably the worst thing you can have for their feet. Hi. Oh, it's okay. So in addition to keeping them here in a dry pasture and keeping their stalls mucked out and full of fluffy bedding, I am also putting a protective coating on their feet. It provides like a moisture barrier for their hooves, so that if they do step in something, there's a little something there to keep that moisture from sitting in there and just rotting out the frog. So those are our plans. I'm so grateful. I can't believe that this is my life. My kids get tired of hearing me going on and on about it, but you know, one day they're gonna chase their dreams and they're gonna realize what a big deal it was for their 36-year-old mom to finally get the life of her dreams. And I can't wait to see that come true for them now that I'm thinking about it. I wonder what it'll be. Anyway, I have got some work to do. I'm gonna groom them a little bit and give this one right here some dewormer. He's had diarrhea, so it's probably been a while since he has been dewormed, and also moving to a new home adds stress. And so I'm just gonna cover my bases with some electrolytes and a dewormer, and then I'm gonna give him both a good brushing and put that moisture barrier on their feet. We are very excited to add these new animals to our farm. We are blessed beyond all measure. We are quite happy and content, and you know, I've talked about living with a chronic illness before, and a lot of people have asked me, like, you moved to a farm to have a healing place, like, are you healed? Well, my autoimmune condition has not gone away. In fact, I'm back out of remission, and I'm in a flare that's worse than ever, and I'm on a really restricted diet. But here's the difference. I have a great outlet. When I'm upset, when I'm stressed, I have something to do with myself besides sit in the bed and feel sorry for myself. I've got beautiful animals to take care of when my body lets me. And yes, with that, I am extremely blessed and very, very happy. So in one way, yes, there is healing here. And I expect with all the crops that we'll be growing and the ways that we're going to be bettering our life here with a lot more healthy choices in the food that we grow, I expect that my health will get much, much better in the years to come. All right, mister, you're free. Freedom, freedom. You may go. You are released. You just gonna stay? Well, I love you too. I'm gonna hop on your back. How are you gonna feel about that?